Have you ever dreamed of being your own boss, only to find out you've just become the hardest working employee at a company you created? It's a super common trap, but believe me, there is a way out. In this explainer, we are going to break down the exact blueprint to turn that demanding job of yours back into the business you actually dreamed of, one that gives you real, genuine freedom. For so many entrepreneurs, this is the brutal reality, isn't it? You imagine having all this passive income, total control over your schedule, but instead, if you take even one day off, the whole thing grinds to a halt. You see, you haven't built an asset, you've built yourself a cage. And that is the huge problem we're going to solve today. Now, to really get a handle on this, let's dive into a story that, well, it might just hit a little too close to home for some of you. It's the perfect example of how this trap snaps shut on so many people. So, meet Styx. He starts this small printing business with this huge dream of freedom. But the reality? Oh man. He was the first guy in the door every morning and the last one to turn off the lights. He was the salesman, the printer, the guy answering the phones, and the delivery driver. The entire business rested on his shoulders, which led him to this one painful realization: he didn't own a business at all. He just owned a really demanding job. So why does this happen? It all comes down to what author Michael Gerber calls the E-myth, or the fatal assumption. And it's this: just because you're a fantastic baker, or a brilliant coder, or a gifted designer, that does not mean you know how to build a baking, coding, or design business. And this right here, this is the single biggest reason most small businesses fail. They're built on a personal skill, not a business system. To break free from this, you first have to understand that there's kind of like a civil war happening inside of you. You see, every business owner is actually 3 different people, all fighting for the steering wheel. Let's meet them. First up, we've got the technician. This is the doer, the hands-on expert. The technician is the part of you that just loves the actual craft, the printing, the baking, the coding. And just like Styx, most business owners are totally stuck operating as the technician, which is exactly why the business can't survive a single day without them. Okay, next up is the manager. This is your inner organizer. It's the part of you that just craves order and predictability. The manager is the one planning schedules, tracking the money, and building the very systems that stop chaos from taking over. It's all about creating a predictable business. And finally, we get to the most important role of all, the entrepreneur. This is the visionary, the dreamer, who's always looking to the future and asking the big picture questions. The real key to getting your freedom back is to consciously pull yourself out of being the technician, start developing that inner manager, and ultimately spend most of your time being the entrepreneur. So how in the world do you actually make that shift? Well, it starts with a massive change in your mindset. You have to stop thinking about your one little business and start thinking like you're building a massive empire. The whole idea is to build your business as if you were planning to franchise it, even if you have absolutely no plans to do that. Why? Because it forces you to create a model that depends on systems, not on specific, amazing people. The goal isn't to be the perfect technician who does everything flawlessly. It's to create a system so simple and clear that pretty much anyone can follow it and get a consistent result every single time. I mean, just think about McDonald's, right? Ray Kroc didn't build that empire by making the best hamburgers on earth. He won by building the most unstoppable system for making and selling hamburgers. The owner can go on vacation, the manager can quit, but the business keeps running because the system is king. And hey, this isn't some dusty old idea. Modern titans like Jeff Bezos built their empires on this very same rule. The message is crystal clear. If your company completely depends on you, you don't really have a company. The system has to be the star of the show, and you, the owner, have to be replaceable. Okay, so we get the problem, we get the mindset shift. Now let's get into the good stuff, the actionable plan. This is the how-to, the blueprint for actually getting your life back. All right, here's the blueprint. Step 1, systemize. This is totally non-negotiable. You have to document step-by-step instructions. We're talking standard operating procedures, or SOPs, for every single thing you do. How to answer the phone, how to pack an order, everything. If it's not written down, it might as well not exist as a process. Step 2, delegate. And I don't mean just hiring helpers. You need to hire people for specific roles that are defined by your systems. Train them on your SOPs, and then, and this is the hard part, you have to trust them to do the job. Third, automate your money. Use modern software to handle invoices, payments, payroll. It makes your cash flow predictable and pulls you out of all that daily financial busy work. Fourth, build a brand. You want a business that people trust on its own, not just because you're standing there. A strong brand means you don't have to be present to make a sale. And finally, step 5, design for an exit. From day one, build your business as if you were going to sell it tomorrow. That means perfect financial records, everything documented, and a team that runs the show. Because here's the secret. A business that can be sold is the very definition of a business that can run without you. Okay, so remember Styx, the overworked printer who was trapped in a job he made for himself? Let's go back to his story and see what happened when he actually applied this exact blueprint. This slide really shows the payoff. In the very first month, Styx just buckled down and got everything out of his head and onto paper. He created his first real operating manuals. By month 2, he'd hired and trained his first assistant using those exact documents. By month 4, he had a small team and a manager running the day-to-day. And then, just 6 months after he hit his breaking point, he walked into his shop and saw something magical. Orders were flying, customers were happy, and his team was running the entire show, all without him. He was finally, truly free. So what changed everything for Styx? It wasn't about working harder. No way. It was a massive fundamental shift in his thinking. He stopped being a worker in his business and became the designer of his business. He designed the systems, he designed the structure, he designed the future. And that is what creates a real sustainable business that can grow even when you're not around. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Take a hard look at what you're building right now. Is it a true business, a real asset that can function and grow on its own? Or is all your hard work just going into designing a more stressful, more demanding job for yourself? The answer to that question will determine your entire future.